Okay, and we're really just going to start by taking a few deep breaths in and just allowing your body, allowing your light just to settle down into your body and connect up through the backside of the solar plexus. We're going to just take a deep inhale, exhale here. And we're going to do the next inhale, exhale. We're going to take it all the way down, right into the tailbone, have it expand through and around, going down through the shins and into the feet as well. And this is all coming in as like a golden light energy that's kind of circulating around the sit bones and ultimately presenting a lotus position sat upon a lotus carried by clouds, working through the vertical hara line as we intercept and connect into the double diamond sun configuration. And then the extension of that as the emerald sun. And we're going to just raise down the emerald sun light rays through the layers of your body and have that connect in with the heart. You may find some kind of natural movement with the body. You may feel yourself kind of pivoting from the right to the left, left to the right, and just really feeling yourself enter into the sit bones and roll the hips a little bit there, just to find natural space, natural expansion. Really drawing in the breath so we can use the breath as a tool to realign and recenter. And just allowing any heaviness and tightness that's kind of filtering through the body at the moment just to be kind of made aware of with the breath. Okay. So as we now sit within the seated position on the lotus, we've got the emerald sun phasing through the body. What this is highlighting is layers of fragmentation coming up over the heart. And this is a disconnect between masculine and feminine coherence. We're going to wave the sunshine of the emerald sun between the layers of the fragmentation, the fracturing of the consciousness there. And as we begin to bridge into the fracturedness of the consciousness, what I'm seeing is emerald crystalline cylinders connecting from one side to the other, but multiple of these cylinders presenting as a horizontal grid, rebuilding mental body connections to the vertical alignment, held in place as kind of let's say, kind of egotism or kind of a negative ego fracture point within the mental body and the rod. So as this insteps, we've got layers of electrical wiring running from left to right that's mismatched along the rod architecture, the 369 dimensional fields rod architecture, which is misdirecting signal and understanding as it connects into the staff vertical architecture connection to the divine. So ultimately, a misinterpretation of information. And then there's layers of pain that's held around the fracturing of the mental bodies that would begin to seed in emerald light rays, emerald bridges that build coherence through the mental body fields, elevating into mother arc, father arc alignments. Inhale, exhale, unlocking through the backside of the solar plex. Trust and faith, loss of awareness of where one is going, and a kind of breakdown of it's like the energy of I don't believe, I don't trust, I don't know what's going on here. We're just starting to dissolve the faculties within that is rerouting through the channel circuitries within the rod structure by blending the emerald light into the field. Twin connection points between masculine, feminine, Nadi, Pingala, Ida, Nadi lines running and interfacing through the chakra system, running correction. Clearing oppositional frequencies and cognitive dissonance held through the chakras. Just allow this to blend in. And what's also coming up behind this now are sound tones and communication pathways to blend between the masculine, feminine counterparts where both are not seeing eye to eye. Let's start to relay the information fluidly so we can start to understand each other, understand the communication pathways there. Backside of the heart on the left side shoulder, surrendering to restructure. Layers of the feminine feeling misunderstood. And to a point, kind of unseen. For the magnetic abilities she draws in, the mystic qualities she possesses, the masculine doesn't necessarily comprehend to this degree. And this is due to the fracturing of the mental body, the group field mental body, and the universal structure of infiltration, which ultimately led to the fracturing of the rod structure to possess and mind control, which then led to oppositional attacks upon the feminine. So this wounding that's coming up around the feminine is just moving back into realignment as the circuitry of the rod, the organic crystalline circuitry of the rod is updated, corrected, and realigned. The mental body schisms move into rapid repair and recoding. Bringing in a feeling of safety, bringing in a feeling of peace. And as this is relaying through the masculine architecture, this is updating, the male goes through a purge of grief as it becomes aware, as the structure becomes illuminated, and the lightness of the feminine, the beauty and the grace of the feminine connects into the masculine to nourish and nurture the architecture, for them to learn how to love deeply and how to receive the gift of healing through love and kindness. Backside of the solar plexus is updating, beginning to restore awareness there to the reason. And then this is getting fed upwards into the heart structure there, relayed patterning information and channels to awaken the heart complex. And we'll just jump back down to the solar plexus area there for a moment, because there's a very tight, anxious knot that's presenting through the front side of the solar plexus that is holding the body in a misalignment. And just bringing in a level of safety to the reasoning mind to make sense of what is going on. Even though it's processing pain, it's still safe and okay to run through this. Don't worry if you can't feel any of this. It's just a case of being present with it, and the intention is enough. And if you do see, then that is fantastic as well. So as this solar plexual part begins to reconnect, the pain begins to disperse, the knot of anxiety unloops, and we've got the sacral and the root chakra just beginning to unfold and open, presenting as blue butterfly wings, which then move into magenta tones. We're going to take the magenta tones out of the wings and expand them 360 degrees. King Arthur, Sword of Excalibur, Sword of Truth, the Codex of Truth, updating into the root, sacral, solar, personality, mind, updates into the heart. The heart begins to purge, opening the third eye, running life force current through the organic circuitry of the chakra system. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Okay, we want to just start bringing in a rose gold and pale gold and white gold solar light blending down through the vertex of the hara and interfacing within the channels and through the complex circuitry of the nadiel. We interlink through the channels, stabilizing fear currents and fear coding, any kind of hitchhiker entities that kind of latch into the nadiel structure from here, just claiming back your body, claiming back your essence. I've got a bit of tightness coming up over the left side of the heart, going up underneath my left armpit. And this feels like a kind of pressure building around the heart. And what I'm seeing kind of going on with that is the bioelectric circuitry, the central nervous system rebooting around the heart. We're just going to take some light into there and just replenish, stabilize it, and just start drawing out the memories of fear, circumstance around betrayals, around partnerships, around relationships or lack thereof. And the ability to accept love back into one's life. Because the heart's holding on to a lot of memory as a storage, protective reminder that sometimes relationships can hurt. And sometimes we just don't trust people in general. So we hold them at a buffer field and we use these memories to separate us out from them, keeping our hearts concealed in order to kind of rehabilitate in and of itself and to work as a protective layer. Let's go ahead and just start changing the belief systems behind this. You can ask for your own primary belief system around the heart and what your how much you are willing to allow yourself to be seen, how much you're willing to allow yourself to be loved. And ask the question, do I still need to hold on to these memories? Okay. Stripping out any layer of kind of trepidation, anxiety, and fear. What we want to do is just extend into those memories. And if you don't have the memories, extend into, with intention, just to replenish any area of distrust in love And that can also be with yourself when we make bad choices that kind of go against our highest good. We kind of do ourselves a disservice. Then a part of the consciousness will also kind of reject itself and shame itself. And this is kind of one and the same that we're also still looking at. We've just got two different expressions here. We've got a personal expression, or we've got that expressed within the relationship. Okay, picking up on some lower back pain here on the right side of the kidney area, right side kidney. Okay, and that's running all the way down through the tailbone, through the lower five lumbar, into the tailbone, and then coming up over the left side head, left side brain, opening through the heart as we proceed by feeding the part of you the love, the nourishment, the support, and the trust it needs to feel safe and secure. Feel safe and secure in communication with yourself or with your loved one. Front side solar plexus, anxiety, bring in safety, polarity integration, bring in support. And we're just going to take the viewpoint of where you are today and reflect into that part through all of the evolutionary developments that you've taken, whether this is looking into a past life or in the beginning of this life or even in your teenage years. You're still evolving and you are definitely not where you were back then. You've found somewhat a level of security since you're kind of sat in this meditation now and working in on yourself. So we're going to relay that back to that aspect and say, actually, do you know what? I have created a level of safety here and we're no longer in the position that we were in the past. And allow this to be your new truth. Allow the perceptions to update in the third eye. Connect that up to the heart. We're going to take it through the back of the cranial sacrum, through the parasympathetic nervous system control point, and we're going to run it down through the physical central nervous system and just take that through the chakras back up into the nadile. The nadile sits as a blueprint for the central nervous system. So when we update one part, it updates the other. And we want to kind of have everything aligned on all locations. And I'm just being called to look at the dark matter templates as well within that as well. So just allow that to update. Take a few breaths there. Okay, just coming down to the dark matter templates. I'm just seeing loads of solar light coming in here just to build through the structure. And what it's doing is it's dissolving out layers of black tar. For those that don't know, the dark matter is the very first level upon which light will sit to create form. And that then goes into the creation of the light body, and then that goes into the manifestation of the physical form. When we work with healing the dark matter, it basically updates, it changes everything. It's cleaning out any hangers on. Wash through the black tar. Okay, artificial waveforms that are looped through it, connecting to the lunar matrix. Dark mother reversals. Inhale, exhale, bring in the light of God, the light of Yeshua, the Kristalla code. Building back organic ratios of Christ intelligence, opening the spinal column, allowing Kundalini to rise, expressing through the front side of the body, expelling satanic forces. Black reversal geometries. Just raise up the light reflector templates here as well. We're just going to put those on as we run through this. Continue with the Christ code, Kristalla, Christ intelligence moving through and updating the dark matter. Stripping the machinery compositions, the lunar forces. The iron inverted dark purple pentagram removal of the goat of Mendes, Baphomet grids. Deep inhale, exhale, please. Removing possession, revoking all agreements, oaths and vows to allow this to inhabit the dark matter structures. Do not consent. In the name of Jesus Christ. Claiming back the template for oneself. Black tar, black goo, dissolution, moving through to reposition and reconstruct into sapphire, amethyst, ruby, white diamond, light structures as it blends through auroric light sound tones, opening the field to accept the threefold flame, Trinity spectra, tri-wave current to integrate into dark matter, removing phantom matrices and demonic hierarchies from holding control. Accepting God source in as the one, the holy I am, forever and shall be. In holy matrimony, I am one with God. Okay, right. Let me see, where do we need to go from here? Inlaying emerald bridges, emerald architecture into the dark matter. Ecstatic sound codes and ecstatic light codes. Okay, so as we enter through again, once again through the dark matter, we've got the emerald ecstatic sound tones and light codes coming in here, where we're faced into quite intense polarity spectrums that we want to kind of just start to unlock here. And I keep on receiving the words to ovulate, and I know that that's a part of the feminine production in which to produce the eggs, the eggs to birth. So what I'm kind of interpreting with that is a seeding into the dark matter templates. Okay, yeah, exactly that. And the next ray that's coming in is an amethyst crystal ray spectra that's sitting as the Godhead or the divine Holy Father Godhead perspective that's looks like it's kind of inseminating the seed codes of the emerald architecture here. And this is then moving through a rapid expansion and growth of amethyst, ruby, and indigo, sapphire, blue light architecture as it runs through the dark matter template. So all of this is then starting to unlock through the heart and expand backside of the heart to the front. I literally feel like I'm being turned inside out right now. And we're just going to surrender to the process as the light of creation stems as the golden child is born through the ovulation within the dark matter, through the ovulation, insemination of Holy Mother, Holy Father, birthing an opalescent white diamond flame feather in the center of the architecture. I'm just asking what is this happening? What's happening here? Okay, it's like a full reclamation of the diamond sun slash double diamond sun eternal body, which is then triggering off a chain of events initiated to climb the stairway to heaven. So this is the ascension back to the God worlds. And as this comes in, the expulsion of death codes, the expulsion of satanic imprints, satanic kind of sigils, and death architecture or anti life architecture. Which is being raised up to the surface for all to be seen. And just seeing how this interfaces within the DNA, shortening the telomeres, it interfaces within cellular death programming, and it also interfaces within artificial intelligence nets, which are like uh, artificial energy grids that are kind of patched down to layers of body matrices. So, like the skin matrices, the bone matrix, the skeletal matrix, etc. Different body parts have different matrices that are kind of connected to them to make them function. And this is working to delineate dissolve and then reclaim back for the light. There's also something coming up around the womb here as well for women, and that is focusing into layers of endometriosis or uh, ovarian cancers or kind of cervical cancers as well. And also going into the male reproductive organs as well, testicular cancer, prostate cancer, etc. These are all kind of being highlighted here as a clearing out and a purging of. And that's then purifying up through the body, coming up with gold. And just seeing the layers of the light body built upon the dark matter template, then just starting to illuminate into gold. Deep inhale, exhale. Allow all the aquamarine light just to encase over and around the body and just wash through, nourishing and nurturing with Divine Holy Mother's presence. Third eye unlocking, synthesis of the reptilian skin, shedding of the skin, changing the formation, heating up the blood, etherization of the blood, pulsing Christ consciousness intelligence through the blood recirculation, and that connects into the reptilian skin and begins the process of transformation from reptilian skin to human skin, and then human skin into light body light. Still with that reflector template on. Making sure that nothing can see us as we go through the process with the light reflector template. We become invisible, leaving no etheric footprints. Dissolving out any attachments around the woundings that we've kind of worked into to clear today already. And just opening up a huge solar arc, which then presents as a mother arc, which then opens into father arc, creating a transition point for the souls to move back through, for the attachments to move back through to source field with the guidance of Solar Christ Michael. back of the root chakra, unlocking and opening. The sacral, unlocking and opening, loosening up the lumbar in the spine. And allowing the body to come into a state of decompression there. Any areas of fight, flight, decompress, release, and recode. Just feeding back to the aspects of self that held the imprint of fight, flight, and the patterning of fight, flight. Just recode now through the eyes of God. So they know that they are held by the light forever and always. Stabilizing the architecture, updating the beliefs. Inhale, exhale. And just seeing an emerald templar just coming down over the neck, sat at the heart, and flashing with encryption. And on that note, that feels like the end of the recalibration for today, guys. So thank you all so much. Just bring yourselves back real nice and gentle there. I'm just being told now that Emerald Templar is just working to update your internal bio clock. I really hope I've recorded this. Oh, I have, thank God. The bio clock function and structure to move from lunar to solar, and beyond solar to first emanation of sound. Awakening the codex within, and awakening the intelligence, the guidance structure within, the memories of the initial individuation from source, to stand in your sovereignty and divine expression, to become embodied upon the earth itself. This is where you are coming to. The pathway has opened and the movement is taking place. Let's go ahead and inhale, exhale, recode, release, and seal forward through all levels or layers of light, through all bodies and through the breath of the divine I am presence. Inhale, exhale, recode, release, and seal. And when you're ready, just bring yourselves back around, turn on your mics, turn on your cameras, and give us a thumbs up.
Oh my God.
You're good?
Mm.
Yeah? Feeling good? Happy Equinox, everybody. Yay. Nice one. Okay? Yeah.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much,
Perfect.
Felix.
Yeah, you're welcome. No worries, guys. No worries at all. I'm going to put the replay on the website. I also did a grid session yesterday with Syra. I'm going to put that on there as well because that feels like a bit of a precursor to today. So if you want to get some kind of backlog, I think it was about 2 days ago now that I did it. If you want to get some background information on the progressions that we're moving through, there's loads of information there that you guys can tune into and just kind of pull in from. And I'll get that up today, basically. So yeah. All right then, guys. Good to
Thank you
love you
so
and leave you.
much.
Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
coming. Mwah. Loads of love, everyone. You take care.
Thank you.
Bye now. Bye.
Bye.